The Rathore family arrived at their new farmhouse in Ravenwood Valley in the spring of 1961. The house stood tall and weathered, its wooden frame surrounded by trees and silence. Elias drove the truck filled with their belongings, while his wife Helena guided their 5 daughters. As they ran through the rooms with excitement, choosing bedrooms, opening doors, and filling the empty halls with laughter. While exploring, Ivy discovered a peculiar music box with a spinning mirror. She wound it, and a haunting melody began to play. As the mirror rotated, the reflection seemed to shift unnaturally, showing glimpses that didn't match the room behind her. Outside, their dog Daisy refused to step inside. She barked and growled at the door, resisting every coaxing attempt from Elias, unaware of the shadow already pressing against their home. That night, the children played hide and clap. In the darkened halls, their laughter echoed. During the game, Sophia stumbled against a wall and uncovered a hidden basement door. Elias went down to investigate, holding a match for light. The basement was filled with broken furniture and dust, a heavy air clinging to the space. He returned uneasy and sealed the door shut. The next morning, Helena awoke with mysterious bruises covering her body. Outside, Ivy screamed when she found Daisy lying lifeless near the tree. Grief and unease settled over the family. Strange things followed. The clocks in the house stopped at exactly 3:08 a.m. every night. Sophia awoke in the dark, feeling her leg pulled by unseen hands. Nora's bed shook as though someone pushed it from beneath. Lila began sleepwalking through the halls, banging her head against the door of the large wardrobe. Helena wandered the house and heard the sound of clapping hands leading her through the hallways. She followed, believing it was one of her children, but the sound came from empty shadows. While doing laundry, she heard a noise and saw the basement door creak open. She stepped inside, but the door slammed shut behind her, trapping her in the darkness. Matches went out one by one as unseen hands clapped close to her face. Elias returned in time to pull her out. The haunting grew stronger. Doors slammed without touch, and cold drafts swept through closed rooms. Sophia saw a figure standing in the corner of her room, staring silently from the shadows. Amara screamed as the wardrobe burst open, and something leapt from the darkness. Helena's bruises worsened, spreading across her skin. Fear took hold. Helena sought help and approached Victor and Clara Ashford, paranormal investigators. She begged them to come to the farmhouse. When they arrived, Ashfords immediately sensed a presence. In the living room, she glanced at Helena and whispered to Victor that something had latched onto her and would not let go. Outside, by the lake, Ashford saw the vision of a woman hanging lifeless from the tree. That night, the violence escalated. Nora was dragged across the floor by her hair, screaming as her sisters tried to pull her back. The Ashfords and the Rathores rushed to her aid. Ashfords' visions revealed the truth. The house had been cursed. Selora, a witch who once lived there, had sacrificed her child to the devil and cursed the land before taking her own life. Her spirit lingered, feeding on the living, targeting mothers, and driving them. The Ashfords decided to document the haunting. With their assistant Oliver Reed and a police officer, Ethan, they set up cameras, recorders, and bells throughout the house. At night, the equipment stood ready as the family tried to sleep. Lila began sleepwalking again, drawn to the wardrobe. Behind it, Oliver Reed discovered a hidden crawl space leading to dark tunnels. Ashford entered and crawled through, but the boards gave way beneath her, sending her crashing into the basement. Their visions overwhelmed her. She saw the spirits of women who had been possessed. Their screams filled the air as shadows swirled. Ashford realized Selora was not alone. The witch had left behind a chain of suffering souls bound to the house. The nights grew unbearable. Doors slammed violently. Furniture crashed across rooms. Sophia screamed at a figure perched in her bedroom, its twisted form barely visible in the dark. Helena's strength faded, her skin pale, her body covered with bruises. Ashford warned that Selora was growing stronger, preparing to take Helena completely. One evening, Helena, her body already overtaken, took Ivy and Sophia and fled back to the farmhouse. Elias, the Ashfords, Oliver Reed, and Ethan followed in panic. Inside the cellar, Helena's face twisted, her voice guttural. She screamed as Selora spoke through her, attacking her children. Elias tried to hold her back, but her strength was unnatural. Ivy screamed as her mother lifted a pair of scissors. With no time to wait for church approval, Victor decided to perform an exorcism himself. Helena was tied to a chair, thrashing violently, her body lifting, twisting, fighting against the restraints. Victor began the Latin prayers. The room erupted. Lights shattered. Furniture splintered. Helena's screams blended with Selora's shrieks. Suddenly, Helena broke free, lunging after Ivy. The cellar filled with chaos. Ashford grabbed Helena's head, forcing her to see beyond the darkness. She reminded her of a warm memory. Her family together, her daughters laughing, sunlight filling their home. For a moment, Helena's eyes cleared. Selora fought back, but Victor continued the prayer, his voice unbroken. Helena convulsed. Silence felt heavy in the cellar. Helena collapsed, sobbing as she clutched Ivy in her arms. Elias rushed to them, holding his family close. Relief broke through the terror at last. The farmhouse fell still. The shadows lifted. Helena, her face clear again, his eyes filled with gratitude. The Ashfords stepped back, exhausted, watching the family reunite. Ashford whispered to Victor that it was over. The darkness had released its hold. Outside, the family gathered beneath the tree, breathing in the cool dawn air. For the first time since moving in, the house behind them was silent. The Ashfords prepared to leave, knowing their work was never truly finished. Back at their home, Victor placed a new case file on his desk.